Welcome back to Sew-Cro-Knits. It's so nice that you guys have stopped by, if you stopped by. Today I want to do another quick video. I posted a video, I think it was either last week or the week before, very short video on things that I was catching up on that I found in a closet that I had, and I just wanted to chat a little bit about that. So the last time I was on here, I actually had started I was halfway through, I think, a pair of socks that I had started, and I had languished on the first sock for like a long time. And then I figured I should start the second one so I just could get them out of the way. It is getting, starting to get warmer here in the Northeast. So wearing wool socks in the, warmer months probably won't be a thing. Either way, I still knit socks because during the summer it's something light and easy to knit, but I might not necessarily wear them right away. So I just wanted to get them off my needle. So this is the first sock that I had done. And I wish I should have put them on a sock blocker, but I didn't. And this is where I am with the second one. I think when I showed this second one last time, I was actually I was starting the flap for the heel. Yeah, I believe I was just starting the flap for the heel. So I finished that, thankfully, and now I'm just kind of like on my way to starting the decreases for the toes. So hopefully those will be done quickly. As you can see, this is a Peyton's Croy sock yarn, and it's kind of like, I don't know if variegated is the word, but the colors are like, it's a red color, but it kind of fades into lighter shades and darker shades of red. So like if you see here, you guys saw this on the last one, this is lighter. And then as you come into here, this is darker. So, and then it fades a little bit. And then on this sock, it's going to be completely different. As you can see, it's darker a little bit in here, and then it fades into lighter, and I'm sure it'll turn like here, see, it looks a little darker than in the middle here. But yeah, so I'm almost done with those, and that's pretty exciting. Again, this was done in Peyton's, what's this colorway? Geranium Colors. And I think the number, Geranium Colors number 57704. Don't know if that'll come through. I hope it does, but it might not. Yeah, no, that doesn't look too good. But anyway, that's the colorway. So I'm almost done with that, and that's going to be exciting because at least I'll have those off of the needles and I don't have to worry about it. I hope that you guys aren't getting too much glare from the light. I had to come into this area today because it was one of the areas that was a little brighter and quieter. I was planning on recording during the day because we had a beautiful day here in New England. Unusually warm for this time of year, or I should say it was unusually warm given that the last few days we've had like 40-ish, mid 40s to high 40 degree weather, and then like overnight it kind of warmed up really, really quickly. I think we were in the 80s today, which is pretty, like, it's unusually weird. And not that I should say that. I mean, I've known New England to have springs and early summers that we get weather. It's like from cold to hot or from hot to cold. Sometimes I feel like there's no transition, but this was like really no transition overnight. And I think because we've had colder weather for so long, I don't think we were expecting it. So that was just a little weird. And here I am with a sweatshirt because I woke up and it was cooler, and then during the day got hot. And I want to say maybe now it's like coming down into like maybe the lower 80s, maybe higher 70s. So I'm hoping that at least it's comfortable to sleep in because people still had their heat on, in some instances, because the temperatures dropped last week pretty low. So anyway, that's the lighting. I didn't have time to do it today. I did a whole bunch of stuff because the weather was nice, and so I was hoping to catch the daylight and maybe record somewhere brighter, and I just never got around to it. So I'm hoping this is at least okay enough with the lighting. Let's get into the rest of my stuff. So I have also, oh, and I also mentioned last week that I was finishing up the crochet blanket that I showed and a hat. I haven't worked on the hat because I was trying to just kind of weave in the ends for the crochet blanket or the Afghan that I made. And so that kind of took up a little bit of my time. So that one's kind of done. It's done, over with. I don't have to talk about it anymore. Hopefully I'll take a picture of it on a sofa or something and maybe I can insert it. I'll see. I also had 2 other blankets, I want to say, that I was also crocheting on. One was for the same person that the Afghan is going to, but it was a lighter version of what I'm going to show. And I want to say it was more, I shouldn't say it's exactly a granny square, because this is a plain granny square that I have here. The granny square blanket that I'm gifting, which is the lighter colors, it's that one's more like a flower motif, and I did that one. Hopefully if I find that, I'll show it next time. That one's done in like a sand color, ivory color. I think it might have like a white or something like that. And that's, you know, just 3 colors. So that one's really, really light. This one is more in bright colors, and so it's pretty exciting. So here, let me just put this down because this is another project I have. But this right here, let me take this. I'm in the middle of joining the granny squares actually. I had knit this several years back, and I put the squares in a basket, and I had it tucked in a corner somewhere, and I kind of like realized it the other day, and I was like, oh, I guess I have more projects that I started I never finished. So I'm continuing on trying to get all those completed. And so this, let me see if I can hopefully bring this up. I think this was the last square on this. I have my hook on here because I don't want to lose the, so this is the granny square blanket that I am crocheting. And the granny squares are already crocheted. And this isn't going to be a big blanket. This is going to be something I was thinking maybe for my chair at work or for my car. This one is for myself. Now the colors on here look a little darker, maybe grayish because of the lighting, but they're not. So like this color right here kind of looks grayish maybe. I wonder if it's coming through gray. From here it looks like a grayish, but this color is actually not a gray. This color and this color, which is being used, it's actually like a sagey green. So it's not gray, it's sagey green. This color that I'm joining the granny squares with is, I don't want to say it's a gray. It's kind of almost hitting a gray, but it has more of like a ice blue undertone. And I'm actually knitting these, well, I knit the granny squares and now I'm joining it all with the same yarn. It's the Loops and Thread Impeccable. This is the color I'm joining the squares with right here. And this color is, oh, it says classic gray, but when you look at it, it doesn't look like a gray. Again, it looks more like an icy gray blue, almost kind of like hitting in the white family. But yeah, and it's unusually, well, not unusually soft. It's surprisingly soft, I should say. That's what I'm actually joining all these granny squares with. Because when I thought about joining it, I thought, should I use one of the same colors? But I kind of wanted something a little, like a little contrast. And so that's why I picked that one. And all of these colors are Loops and Thread, that Impeccable yarn. And maybe I'll show you some of the squares made up because I'm almost done with them. to be honest with you. And so this is that color, and I think I may have the label, so I'll show you in a minute. So this is the pink square. This is it's either like a turquoisey or peacock color. That's kind of turquoisey square. This is, I call it the yellow square. I kind of named the squares per the color that's on the outside rim, but every one of these squares has the same, is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. The same 5 colors. I just interchanged them in different ways so that they can all look different, but they're the same 5 colors. So this is the little yellow one that I made. And then I also made this purple one. So did I show 5? Oh yeah, the purple one. And then the last one that I have here is that green, that sagey green. See how now you could probably tell a little more, this sagey green color. And the colors that I used, in case anybody wants to know, sorry. Okay, so the colors that I used were Sunny Day. Let's see if I can get these to, hold on. No, this is not wanting. I'm wondering if my camera is dirty, but I'll read them out loud to you. So it is the Impeccable Yarn by Loops and Thread. This yellow right here is called Sunny Day, and the color is number 15625. Let's see here. This color right here, which I call turquoise or the peacock, it's actually the color teal, and it's 01205. Let's see here, which was next. This color is, the sagey green is called, this color here is called Fern, and that's 01222. And I don't think those are the batches. Those are the actual colorways. Yeah, those are not the lot numbers. Those are the actual colorways. And then let's see. The pink one, which I call pink, but it's kind of like a fluorescent-y pink, which I kind of like. That color is Arbor Rose, and that number is 01417, in case anybody's interested. And I think the last one, which is the purplish one right here, it looks purplish to me. This color is magenta, and it's 01747. And these are all done on the Impeccable from Loops and Thread, just in case anybody's interested. But all together, they make the nicest combination. I absolutely love how these squares came out. I really did. So that's the blanket that I'm actually working on and finishing. I'm literally just joining them to finish this blanket. And so I've only joined them one way. I've only joined them downward, so that's why you see these gaps here. As soon as I'm done joining all the squares, I'll go ahead and close it up. And again, I don't think the color is coming through because of the time of day and the lighting I have in here, but in the daylight, it looks so nice. So nice. So that's the other crochet blanket that I'm working on. When I'm done with that one and the other lighter one that I'm working on, I actually had purchased a while ago. I had purchased, I don't remember if I was scrolling through Pinterest or if I was on Etsy. One of the two. The designer, I got the pattern through Etsy, but I don't remember if it was because I saw it on Pinterest and it gave me the link. But the designer sells this on her Etsy shop, and I actually fell in love with it. I love apples. I like apples as a food, and I like apples as in like a design. Like, you know, like dishware, squares. Like, I just think, I don't know, apples, like teachers. I'm not a teacher, but I've always been drawn to like teachery things. Not that that's correct grammar, or English, I should say, but when I saw this, I thought this was really pretty. So it's another Afghan. It's crocheted, and it's kind of like, I think they're granny squares, but it's beautiful. So let me show you a picture first. And I want to say, I'm reading here, the designer, is it Pearl Shore Cat? That's what it says on here, but I'll show you a picture of it. Oh my gosh, isn't that so cute? I absolutely love this Afghan. And when I saw it, I thought to myself, I have to go pick up some yarn, and I want to try it, because if it turns out really nice, I don't know. It called to me, and I want to say I should have looked on my phone, but it's pearl as in pearls that you wear, Pearl Shore as in beach, cat, Pearl Shore Cat, all one word. And she does have an Etsy shop, and I'm trying to see if her name, the actual designer's name, is here, because I want to say this is the company or her tag. I can't see it on here, or I don't know if it's a company or if it's just a person, whoever it is. That is, I think if I show the picture, it says it right here, Pearl Shore Cat. So go check it out. I want to say, I don't remember how much the pattern was. Maybe like 10. Was it 5 or 10? I don't remember. Don't quote me on that price, but I thought it was worth it because I like it. So I'm hoping that I can get started on that. But I didn't want to start it. I was so tempted to, but I didn't want to start it because I wanted to finish the 3 crochet blankets that I had, or the Afghans that I had already started. I'm sorry if I'm touching my face. I think the weather triggered a lot of stuff today. It triggered my allergies. It triggered a small migraine. Earlier in the day, I had to take something for it. And now I feel like I'm worked up because I took something for it. So I feel like I'm jittery. So please excuse me if I'm touching my face, because I feel itchy too. I feel like my skin is itchy because of my allergies, possibly because of the medicine that I took. So this apple crochet Afghan needed yarn. So I actually, instead of going to like a Joann's or something, when I purchased the yarn, Joann's still was open, and I'm sure it's still open somewhere else. I know that there's stores that are not necessarily closing. The ones in our area are all closing. So initially when I purchased the yarn for this, because I thought that was so beautiful, I could have gone to Joann, but I did not, because I wanted to buy semi-nice yarn. Well, let me rephrase that. You know what? I'm going to correct myself, because I think all yarn is nice. Do not quote me, and please, I don't want to offend anybody. I think all yarn is great. I buy yarn from indie dyers. I buy them from a Joann's type of store. I buy budget yarn. Yarn is yarn. And although some yarn may be nicer than others, that doesn't mean that, you know, if you only have a certain type of yarn, that you have the wrong yarn or your yarn isn't good. You use what you can, what you have, or what you feel like using. In saying that, I did go to my local yarn shop because I wanted to try out, it's still, I believe, an acrylic yarn, but I wanted it to have a little more, I wanted it to be sturdy, but I wanted it to have some type, a little more natural fiber mixed in possibly with it. So I went to my local yarn shop and I picked up the Plymouth Yarn Company Encore yarn. And I made sure, I think some of the colors this has suggested yarn. And the colors that are on here, I want to say are might be just slightly brighter than the palette I picked. I think it's awfully close to the colors that I picked. So what I did was I went to my local yarn shop, I took the picture with me, and I kind of matched it. The shop owner helped me kind of match up what we thought would be, because I wanted more of the beige in the granny square that they have on there is a little brighter, and I wanted something a little creamier looking. So I picked, this is the Encore, and all of these colors are in the Encore line. This one, the beige, it's kind of like a cream color. They had a beige. This isn't their full beige. They had a beige, and then they had a white, and then like a bright super white. This one is they don't have a name, but they do have a color. So the color is 256. And I wanted to say, I thought, why did I think that? Yeah, no, they don't have a name. They just have a color number, and they have a dye lot. But this color number for this cream color is number 256, and it's a creamy, not beige, not white. That's what I picked for the square. For the actual apple, they had 3 or 4 different types of red, and so I picked color 174 for that one. For the little stem of the apple, the little stem right there, I actually picked color 599, which is like a true brown. They also had 2 other browns that were slightly off. One looked more like a muddy brown, and then there was a different type of brown that kind of looked more like a cross between like a terracotta, but maybe hitting more like a khaki, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to explain that color, but those were the browns. This was like a true stem brown, like a true tree brown, crayon brown. So I got this brown, and this brown is 599. That's the colorway. And then the green that I picked, I made sure that I picked, they had a bright green, they had a mid green, the green, and they had a hunter green. This green was a cross between a hunter and just a very dark, what would I call it? Like a pine green, maybe? So I really liked this color. And this colorway is 204. And so it's not black. It kind of, like if I hold it like this, it kind of looks black. It's not black. I hope that maybe, it's a green. It's like a dark green, but it looks really nice. And so when I put these all together, here, let me see if I can hold it up like this. This is what it's gonna look like. Maybe if I move the green over here, it will look better. I don't know if that works. But these are the colors. So that's the green, the dark green right there. That's the red, that's the cream color, and that's the brown. And these are the colors that I will be using from Encore to make, I'll show it one more time, this apple granny square afghan. See how that green is like a really dark green? So I'm kind of excited to start on that, but I will not start on that until I finish, I go ahead and finish those other 2. And I probably could have used more. So the colors that I picked doubles of were the green, the red, and the cream. I only bought 1 brown because the only brown that's in this granny square Afghan are the stems of the apples. So I know that I'm probably not going to be using that much yarn for that. So I just bought 2 of each of the other ones, because I also didn't know how big I was going to make this. I'm sure that if I want to make a huge one, I would probably need more. But I just wanted to make one big enough and see how much this yarn brings me to. And then if I see that I want more, I'll go ahead and add more granny squares. That's, I think, why I'm excited about this. With granny square and with crochet, you're able to gauge a little bit how big or how small you want it, and you can stop anywhere you want. You can do that with knitting as well, but I think when it comes to granny squares, you can, there's so many there, it's so versatile that you can go ahead and do it as big as, you know, small as you want. So that's one of the projects. And look at the cute little bag that I got. I know these bags were trending a while ago, and I want to say this is from Emma Ball. I got the sheep one. I think they're so stinking cute. These were also at my local yarn store. And then I also have a second one. Let me take this out of here. And these are the cats. I love these little cats. Aren't they cute? Oh my God, they're so cute. So in this bag, actually, what I have is, oh, I think my camera moved a little bit. Okay, let me leave that alone. So in this bag, I had mentioned a while, or did I mention it? I'm not sure. So I've actually knit 2 sweaters up and a third one that's almost done. And I might have mentioned it before. I had made a sweater, and it's called the Huga Charm, my first knit sweater, and I want to say Red Heart put that pattern out. And it was made for their Huga Charm yarn. And so I actually went to buy that yarn, and I didn't. I said, you know what? I have yarn at home. Let me try it out first. And I never got around to buying it, but it's so versatile that you can use any yarn. So that's the pattern, Huga Charm, my first knit sweater from Red Heart. And I don't know, this is a black and white printout, so I'm not sure if you can see it, but you can look it up and the picture comes up online. This is kind of like the sweater. It's a very simple sweater, and I like it because it's knit in pieces. So you knit the front, the back, and then the sleeves all open, and then you put it all together and seam it all up. Super easy, and it's surprisingly a very comfortable sweater. And I mean, you can make, I like it because you can make it your own. And I know you can do that with any sweater. You can adjust the size, you can do anything. So this sweater, I made 2. One I made for myself. The first one I made it for myself just to see how it turned out. I made it a size too big, I think. I think I could have gone down a size and it would have been perfect. So if I knit it again for myself, I think I can go down a size. I knit it for my daughter, for my younger daughter. And what I did was I knit that on was it the smallest size they had? I don't know. Do they have wait, they might have an extra small size. I think they have an extra small. I'm not sure, but I knit it at the smallest size. And what I did was, because my daughter's into more of a cropped look at the moment, I just knit, I kind of, not that I subtracted, it kind of tells you how much to knit from the rib, and then from the rib up, it tells you how many inches. And what I did was I just kind of knit up, and I measured it on her as I went, the front panel, and I had her tell me where she wanted me to stop, you know, where the crop, where she wanted me. So it's great because it starts you off with the rib. So it's not top down, it starts bottom up, even though it's knit in pieces. So it's nice because you have the rib already. And so from there you can gauge how much more you'd like to knit it up. So I did that, and it ended up looking so cute. She's worn that sweater a million times. I'm glad I made it in, I want to say I used, for that sweater, hold on, give me a second, because I think I have the brand. I think it's the Joann's brand. Big Twist. I had knit her up, hers in Big Twist, and it's great because she's thrown it in the wash like 20 million times and it still looks nice. Big Twist, I have to say that it was, it washes really well. So she's loved it. She's loved it. So I did that one for her. And then for my older daughter, I started knitting one in her favorite color. Not as cropped as the other one, but she kind of likes wearing hers not oversized. Like this sweater is just, the original kind of falls right at the hip or a little lower than the hip. My older daughter likes to wear her sweaters right at the length of where her pants are. So not cropped, but right where her waistline kind of falls. And so I'm doing a purple one for her. I just have to do the sleeves. I haven't knit up the sleeves yet. But then while I was at my local yarn shop, she had a sale going on some yarn. And I thought this yarn was very pretty, the color, one, and two, it was woolly, but not woolly where I was like, ew, I don't want to wear that. You know, it felt surprisingly nice. So I said, you know what? I would like to try it in a wool. So this is like the first panel. And so here, I'll show you an example of what I was talking about. So this is the first panel. Let me see if I can do this so that I don't necessarily take it off. So this is the first panel. And see how I'm saying, like, you start off with the rib. There we go. It's a little messy right now. And then you kind of knit up to where they tell you. This one I'm going to knit exactly per the instructions, because again, this one I think is going to be my sweater. So I knit it on a smaller size this time. And I still have a few more rows to go before I so before I stop. So right here, if you see at the end, I marked it where the sleeves are going to be being attached. So I knit it up. It tells you how much to knit. You put stitch markers, and then there's a certain amount of inches, you know, so that you can finish up here on the top. And it's nice because when you join it, I don't want to say it's boat neck, but it's kind of like there's an opening. So like, it has you seam it up to here. And so then you have this pretty, like, kind of shows a little bit more of the collarbone, if you like, if I can say. Yeah, it's a really nice seam. It's a really nice seam. So this color is like a mustardy kind of color, which I really like, but it has these little flecks. If, let's see, I want to say like orangey. They're barely visible, barely, but it's like a terracotta-ishy, like very small, very faint, reddish undertone, I would say. Reddish terracotta-y undertones in there. And the yarn that I'm using is Ella Ray Classic Wool, Pure Virgin Wool. And the colorway is 135. So in case you're interested, this is the yarn ball. And let me see if this colorway 135, I think it is. 135. Yep, there it goes. It's nice. I kind of like it. I like the squish. I like that it's toothy, but it's not, it doesn't feel like, well, so far at least, it doesn't feel uncomfortably. And I'm guessing as you wash it, it'll get softer, like they say. So I'm excited about that because I really do like this color. So I'm hoping to have this done, even though I might, unless we have some, if I finish it and we have some cooler weather before the summer hits, maybe if we take a ride out to the beach and it's cooler out there, I can probably throw it on like in a cool night. But most likely I'll probably be saving it for the fall if it gets warm very quickly here. So that's a sweater. And then what else was it that I had that I kind of wanted to show you guys? I did pick up some of these. Like, everybody raves about these. I know I'm late to the game, but I was excited because she also had a sale on these the stitch holder, flexible stitch holder little bands for when you're knitting a sweater in the round and you need to hold this where the sleeves are going to go. I was pretty excited. I was using yarn, which is still nice. You can, you know, I've done that for many years, but I finally caved and I said, you know what, she had them there. I was going to order them online, but when I saw that she had them there, I picked 2 of them up because I think she had a sale going on. So I grabbed those. And then I think the other thing that I picked out was oh, the other thing that I'm finishing that I had started a while back and I didn't finish was these fingerless gloves. And these fingerless gloves, it's a kit that came, I want to say it's the Alpaca Yarn Company. These kits were from their you know, company store website. She had them at the shop, and they're the Forget Not mitts. Here is the mitts. If you look at the pictures, they're really cute. It's kind of like this right here is an argyle pattern. I don't know if you can see it really well. And then the inside right here is it's just a stripe going down. It's in color work. I have not done color work yet until these. So I have wanted to dive into color work, and I've always been really scared. So when I saw this, I actually purchased this several years back, and I never tried it because I was so nervous I didn't know if I was going to be able to understand the charting. Because when I started knitting, reading patterns, but like visually. I'm a very visual person. And so somebody said, you might do well with charts. But because I didn't know all the language, I would look at the charts and I would get overwhelmed because I didn't know, even though I could see the chart, I didn't know that the chart was meaning, okay, these blocks are for these, which should have been something simple for me to get, being that I'm a visual person. So I learned to knit reading instructions first for some weird reason. And then when I saw the pattern, I was like, oh, okay, let me try this. This is small enough where I could probably try it. So I had it put away for a while and I never touched it. And this year I told myself I need to try my hand-eye color work. And this is the perfect size of projects that I can do that. So I started working on that. I'm trying not to crunch the bag too much because I know some of you may be a little sensitive to that. So this is actually what I have started so far. I'm really liking it, and I think I'm going to be a colorwork fan. Although I've always been a colorwork fan visually. Like every time I'd seen you guys making those beautiful sweaters and the colorwork sweaters, I'd sit there and be like, I want to do that, but it looks so complicated that I never even looked at color work because of that. I would look at pictures, but I would never try my hand at it. So I started this and I absolutely love color work. Mind you, now this is very small as well. So because there's only 2 colors that you're working with, and it's a fairly simple pattern, I am loving it. So it has you do the rib, it has you do the colors right here. Look at how nice those colors. And then it starts the little argyle. And then this is the back, or I should say the palm of the mitt. Let me push these back. This is the palm of the knit. I mean, the palm of the mitts, I should say. I love the way these are turning out. I'm so excited to finish these. Even though, again, I probably am going to get more use out of these come the fall and next winter. Just the fact that I knit them up is huge. So, and the yarn is fairly soft. I want to say it might be the same yarn from the Alpaca Yarn Company. So it's their yarn. And, oh, let me see. Okay, so the yarn actually is this 2 color here. Let me just pull these 2 colors out because Okay, so it's these two colors right here. And this must have been done as a kit because there was 3 skeins in there, 3 small skeins. And it comes in a pack named the colorway Rhinebeck. So it's just, this must have been made. There's no 2 separate colorways. I think this whole thing was made as a kit and the whole kit was named Rhinebeck. And so this is the color and this is how it looks. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I can't say enough about it. So I'm pretty excited. And that was, I think, again, the pattern. If you guys want to check out their shop, I don't know if they still have it, but I'm sure this pattern is probably floating around in the knitter socials and stuff like that. I want to say that might be it for what I'm knitting on and what I'm trying to get done. Again, I'm trying to just to get a lot of stuff out of the way, stuff that I started, unfinished projects. I want to get them done. I want to either gift them to whoever I was intending them for or put them away if I was going to do them for myself. And I think that's it. When I was at my local yarn store, I actually also picked up this. Now, I know that there is a lot of people, or I should say there are a lot of knitters and possible crocheters too that have been into, I don't know if this is, I'm sure this has always been around, but just knitting with, what is this? What kind is this called? The type of yarn, okay, so not that it's the material of the yarn, it's the type of yarn where it's not fully like, I don't even want to say spun, but it's lightly like, it doesn't even look like, so maybe it's like, is this mohair? I think it might be mohair, or is it alpaca? I think this is baby alpaca. Yeah, I want to say this is baby alpaca. And this is Cos or Kos. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Forgive me. And I want to say Sandnes Garn. Yeah, Sandnes Garn. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that very well. But this is a, this green is just, okay, so see here, kind of looks like it could be a gray. No, it's green. I don't know if maybe, no, that looks too dark. Woo. Okay, anyway, this is like a foresty pine tree green. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's that kind of just, it's not like spun yarn, but she had some fingerless mitts that were knit up in this. And when I touched them, they were like clouds. So I asked her, what did you knit this up on? And she walked me over and I picked 2. I had at first picked one because she says, I think you can get the 2 fingerless mitts that I knit up with 1 ball because that's what I used. She's also a professional knitter. So I'm sure I could possibly get 1, but I picked up 2 just in case. I didn't want to take a chance. But this is like, it's so nice. So I got these up. Anyway, I'm going to try to knit some fingerless gloves with these using like a simple pattern. So hopefully that will help. And I'm trying to look around. I'm sorry, I don't mean to seem scatterbrained. I knew that I picked up some really nice yarn and I kind of wanted to show it off. So that's the only reason why I'm looking. Give me a second. There was another yarn that I had actually picked up from her store. Oh yeah, this one. This is a purple one. And I'm hoping to knit a sweater in this. I actually think that I purchased the pattern from, Andrea Mowry. Is it the Everyday DRK sweater? Something, or DRK Everyday? One of her sweaters. I think it's the Everyday whatever sweater that she has. And I didn't know what color I wanted to use, and so I picked this. This is definitely like a grayish lavender. It's more of a gray, but it has the lightest lavenderish tone to it in daylight. And I picked the Barocco Lana Slite. And I'm pretty excited. And I picked up, I want to say, did I pick 3? I think 3 or 4 balls of this I picked up, because I'm planning to do the smallest size, and if it doesn't fit me, I'm just gonna gift it to one of my girls. I'm very lucky because my girls are very knit worthy. They love wearing things, even though my older daughter is very chic. My youngest daughter is very like earthy, but they both like handmade things that somebody created or somebody did for them, that made for them with love. They're very art minded people, I think I should say, crafty minded people. So needless to say, they're very knit worthy, and whenever I knit something up for them or crochet something up for them, they're very appreciative of it, and they actually wear it, which is nice. If they didn't wear it, I'd probably be like, no. Like my sister, she can appreciate art and crafts, but she's not a person that wants to wear something handmade. Like she has worn 2 things that my mom and I made her. So my mom made her a beautiful Celtic shawl, kind of like a cowl, but it's like I don't even know how to explain it. And she did a lot of cabling on it, and she did it my sister's favorite color, and she has worn that during the winter. She loves it. Beautiful. And I did make her a scarf years and years and years ago, and she will wear that during the very, very cold months. But other than that, she tells you, she's like, I'm not into that stuff, so don't make a lot of stuff for me. I'm okay with 1 or 2 pieces. I'm not one of those. It'll sit in a drawer and I won't wear it. And I'm glad that she's at least honest like that with me, because I know I'll buy her something instead of knitting her something. Needless to say, I'm excited about that sweater, and this is what I'm going to be using. And I think that should be it. I don't have anything else that I have tons of stuff that I'm actually knitting on and crocheting, but I don't want to overwhelm myself. I want to finish up what I have. I did pick up a few things besides those yarns that I just showed you guys, that I'm pretty excited about. And they're in combination with just regular chain store purchases and yarn shop related purchases. I also wanted to mention one of these bombs. I don't know, I really have to go online and look, but I actually purchased this, I want to say several years back at was it the Connecticut Sheep and Wool? It might have been one of that, or in Massachusetts. I don't remember. But this gentleman was there, and he's from Pembroke, Mass, I think. And his place is called West Elm Farm, westelmfarm.com. He made these balms for working, with yarn and stuff like that. This one's called Betty's Balm for Working Hands, and this one has rosemary, lavender, and comfrey root. This I could just, here, I'll let you guys smell a vision. If I can literally take this everywhere with me just to sniff it, I would. I'll use it for my hands, but this is amazing. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I will put in here if the shop is still open, but this is great. And I'm sure there's plenty of other places where you can get balms like this. I make my own balms at home as well, but I make them for my family. I don't sell my balms and stuff like that. But this was really nice, and I liked the combination of oils that he used. Oh, so nice. But anyways, I use this a lot when I knit here in my room. I try to keep like a lotion or something in either like my bags or like at least one upstairs, one downstairs when I'm using it. I was gifted this from one of my girls, cute little, no, I'm lying. It wasn't my girls. It was my nephew. My nephew gave me this for Christmas. I absolutely love it. It's so cute because you can't get enough of these. And tape measures are great. And then these two, these are stitch markers and, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna laugh at me. Stitch markers and, I'm really fried. I have a headache right now. These are from Big Twist, the Joann's Big Twist line. They had them on sale before they started closing down. So I grabbed some because you can never have enough. And they also had this little, now I have one of these from, I have two of them from Katrinkles, the wood ones. And I have a gauge swatch and needle, you know, to see what size it is. But this is also from the Big Twist line. And I thought it was really cute because I can keep one here in my bedroom. And then the other one is downstairs where I have my other knitting stuff. And then when I went to my local yarn shop, I like trying out different types of needles, and I have a set of interchangeables, and I had purchased that one from Knit Picks, and I really like it. I think it's great quality, and it's a great buy. But for years now, I've been wanting to buy, initially I wanted to buy the Chiaogu interchangeables. What I've noticed is it's pretty expensive. I mean, you could probably get it at a bargain somewhere, or from a private shop maybe, or maybe like an eBay or Etsy or something. But they could be pretty pricey, and I didn't want to get a full set because I wanted to make sure that that I don't buy a full set if I'm only using one or two sizes. Now, even in saying that, it's probably still worth the money for what you get. But because I had the Knit Picks, I thought it was a little frivolous to buy another interchangeable set. So because I have those interchangeables, I just typically, if I really need a specific size and I don't already have it, I will go and grab it. So I tend to buy kind of around the same size. And so I rather have a few single sets than have a full on interchangeable. I know I could buy the cords and buy extra, but I didn't. And I know that I was going to be using these anyway, and so I picked them up. I actually picked up a 16-inch US 5, the blush, because I thought to myself, if I don't buy the Chiaogu, I also like the way that the Luca needles look. And I particularly like the pink one. I love all the colors. They're beautiful. But I wanted to see what the pink one looked like, and she had the single ones. So I actually purchased this one. And this one I bought because I like the size 5 for hats, winter hats. So I purchased this one in a size 5. US 5? Yep, US 5, 3.75 millimeter. I picked this one up from my local yarn shop. And then what I did was I picked up a 16-inch US 4, 3.5 millimeter Chiaogu bamboo, because I surprisingly like the Chiaogu bamboo. So I'm kind of glad I didn't go for the Chiaogu stainless steel interchangeable, even though the red lace ones, even though that's my favorite needle to use of all time, and I have several that I kind of rotate and I go through. I had purchased some bamboo ones for some like project that I was in the middle of that I needed needles for, and she only had the bamboo, and I liked it because she said that was it the one that I had? Yeah, the one that, not this one, but the one that I had purchased before, I think it had the little rotating, the bottom piece, so it wouldn't, because this one's small, this is a 16 inch, I don't think this has that. I'm only using it for a smaller circumference. The other one that I picked, I don't like when the cables get twisted. And she said, because the Chalgu bamboo had the little the rotating little thing here, she said it won't tangle up on you as much. It'll kind of twist around with your work whenever it's going. So I like the way that those needles felt. Really, really smooth and really nice. And it had enough, it was still soft enough where you don't feel like it's crunching, but it was soft enough that you can work with it and it wouldn't bother your fingers. It gave it that warmth that you can hold on to, where the stainless steel ones, I feel, are really good with wool, with 100% wool, because wool is kind of sticky. The stainless steel ones help a lot with that. But when you're working with other yarns that might be a little slicker or thinner, in my case, this is why I would buy a bamboo, would be more for a thinner type of yarn, like a fingering or a lace weight. I like the bamboo for that. So I picked these two up because I kind of needed that. And then I also picked up some 5-inch bamboo Haya double pointed needles. This is 5-inch. I got this in a 1.5, which is typically what I knit my socks on. And I picked it up because I when I started knitting socks, believe it or not, I learned how to knit my socks with double pointed needles, which surprised me because it was so fiddly when you first start, like your cuff. I don't like it. But I started, that's how I learned how to knit socks. And then from there, I graduated to the 9-inch circulars, which are my absolute favorite now. But these are, and I actually had gotten some from the same shop, and I thought the mistake I made was I bought them because when I first started, I bought double pointed, and I think I was buying them too long. So they kept kind of like, I felt like they were too big for the project that I was making, or too long for the project. And so I kind of got annoyed, and that's when I went to my 9-inch circulars. I can't wrap my brain around having a 24-inch cable. I can't, that overwhelms my brain and I just can't do it. So the 9-inch circulars are the best. And so I realized I purchased some 4-inch double pointed, and that was a hot mess because the stitches kept coming off. So I realized that the magic number for me when it comes to double pointed is 5-inch. 6-7-inch is too long for me. 4-inch is too small unless I'm making baby socks or something tiny. 5-inch is on point. So I just needed to pick a few of those up. And I think that's it. I think that's all my knitting for today. Wow, that was loud. I'm so sorry. I think that's all my knitting for today, and I am hoping to have some of these projects done. I'm hoping that by the end of next week, they're mostly done, and hopefully I can either take pictures, put them up here, or I can show you the finished product next time I record or I'm on here. I think that's about it. I'm hoping it is Easter weekend. If you guys celebrate, happy Easter. And if you don't, have a wonderful weekend. I'm hoping you guys are having great weather wherever you're at. And yeah, stay safe, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good one. Bye.